Dan Dickerman with a quick tutorial handling a common question that comes up this time of year while everybody's putting together auditions for honor bands, which is how to take audio files that were created in one format, put them all together so that they combine into a single file, and then output them into a single audio file in a different format. So what we have here is someone who submitted one file for each of their scales, and these look like they were recorded on an iPhone, which produces AAC audio in the MPEG-4 audio format with one scale for each file. And we want to have one file, one single file that has all of the scales in it, and the audition site requires it to be in MP3 format. So these are the individual scales. And we're going to put them all together in the right order, make a file. We want to use tools that are free, freely available, easily available. In this case, on the Mac, there is the tool GarageBand, which is either pre-installed on your Mac or is freely available from Apple on the App Store. And it does quite a bit more than we're using it for here, but it will get the job done. So what we do need to do is strip it away, all the confusing bits, to make sure we can just do what we need to get done in this case. So here we have the opening of GarageBand. It asks us what we want to do. We're going to create an empty project, and then it'll ask us what kind of project it is and what we're going to do about it. And we're not going to use any of these synthesized instruments. We just want a simple recording, which is this microphone icon. And actually, we're not going to use a stereo or mono input microphone. We're going to use no input at all. We're just going to use the clips we already have. So we're going to create the new project, and it presents us with this interface. And immediately there's a bunch of stuff we don't need, so we're going to turn that off. We don't need the metronome clicking away at us. We don't need to count 4, 3, 2, 1 before it starts playing. We're not going to use any of the sounds from the library, so we switch that off here. And finally, there are a lot of effects and plugins that are turned on by default, so we're going to switch those off so it doesn't change the sounds that we already have recorded. So here, the track or master, which is for the whole project, and each of those has subcategories. So we'll just go through each of those one at a time and switch everything off. Open up our disclosure for plugins, and things that are enabled are shown in blue here. So we can switch that off here, and here, and there. See what's set there. That's not on. This is the on-off button for that. So mastering for the whole project, that's on. We turn that off. Output effects are all off already. And finally, the master echo setting needs to be turned off. So now all of our effects are off, and we can switch off the effects window itself here. Nice, clean, simple display with just one track and a timeline. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag the audio clips we have one at a time onto the timeline for GarageBand in the correct order. So in this case, this guy should be first. Drop him here. Next, that one. Drop next to him. And then we want that one. And that one. And finally, the chromatics here. So there they all are in GarageBand, all lined up, ready to go. And we have them so that they can play. And this is our playback head. And we could start it, say, here, and it's the end of one scale. Immediately we start the next one. They're all there, and they're all in the right order. So the next step, we just need to export it so that we can get our file, sharing that file by exporting the song to disk, and then we choose where we want it to go and what we want to call it, scales, and then down here this lets us choose the kind of audio file format we want to use, and in this case we were requested to use MP3 files, and we want the best quality sound we can get, and we export it. That takes our timeline, makes a single file out of it in the right format. Now what we have here with our project in GarageBand is just references to all these files. It knows about the files we used on the timeline that we started with, and it created a file as an output. But we don't need that project anymore. We have all the files we need. So we can just quit GarageBand and not save the project. And we have the files we want in a single file. So that's all exported and ready for upload. Anyway, I hope that clears up some confusion for folks and gets everybody on the right track. As always, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Catch you next time.